has been kind of chaos, but that's okay.
All over the place.
Yeah, just kind of like, what the heck is happening? It just feels like it's been like so many more days in the week than there really has been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've also been like learning a lot this week, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, jam-packed, but feeling good.
Ooh.
Yeah. What have you been doing this week?
I have been implementing my new work schedule / like social media detox.
Ooh,
And it's
tell
been
us more.
so nice. So nice.
Tell us more.
So last week we were talking about blocking our apps and everything.
Yes.
So
which has been so good. How is that app actually before we
I actually love it because
what does it do?
It's called App Blocker.
Okay.
And it basically you can create schedules in the app. So different times that you want to block your apps basically.
Okay.
And so I have one schedule that is from 4 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay.
So I block Instagram, TikTok, Dubsado, and well, I took my business email off of my Gmail app
Good
so
idea.
that I'm not scrolling.
Yeah, I do that too.
Just like checking it 24/7.
Mhm.
And then, so those 3 apps are blocked from 4 p.m. to 11 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
It's
4
been-
p.m.
yeah.
That's strength.
So I
That's
like
bravery.
have to get all my scrolling in during like my lunch break, which has been really nice.
Okay. So you're like an hour basically.
Yeah. So, and then like I have them open to work basically.
Okay. Well, how does it block you? Because like, you know how on the iPhone it has its own blocker, but it's just like
I've never used that one.
Okay. Well, on the iPhone, it's like you can block certain ones, like for, I don't know if it's a schedule or what, but you can block it. But like when you enter the app, it'll be like, remind me later or just like, okay, I'm blocked.
Oh, so you can still get in.
So you can still
basically?
get in. And so I'm wondering how this one's different than
This
that.
one.
Like,
So every time you tap on Instagram, it'll show you how many times you tried to get in. It's savage.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
And you can't get in. Like, and you have to go into the App Blocker app to change the schedule.
Oh.
But before you can change the schedule, it will ask you, like, take a minute to pause, reflect. Do you really want to? And you can't push change schedule until it counts down from like 30 seconds, I think.
Interesting.
So by the time you're like on the 15th second, you're like, wait, actually, I don't need to unblock it.
I don't need it this bad.
Yeah. It's so nice.
Okay, so all right. So you've been implementing the app, and so that's been helping you. 4 p.m. Wow. I just can't imagine. Although I need to do that.
The first couple of days were so weird. I was like,
really?
What do I do with my time? Because you don't realize how much time you actually have when you stop at 4.
Yeah.
And so remember how I made that list of all the hobbies and all the things? I've just been able to do so much in the past week.
Yeah.
It's actually insane. And then I've also do a second schedule where I just can't get into them on the weekends.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Not at all on the weekends?
So on the weekend,
like
last weekend, I had so much time to do all my hobbies. It was insane.
That is for real a detox. Yeah. Has it been hard or no?
It was hard at first just because you realize just how much of an addiction it is.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But now I'll find myself scrolling and not even want to scroll that much. I'm like, actually, I don't want to.
Yeah, like this isn't what I need right now.
Like just random For You page TikToks, it's actually not hitting.
Like, I don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. We're back again. My dogs keep interrupting. I don't know what's going on with them today. But okay, social media detox and
feel great.
What have you been doing? So like what are some things that you've been doing with your free time?
I've been reading a lot. I've been doing a lot of Sudoku.
Oh, yes. How is that going?
I love it. Like I do it every breakfast.
Ooh,
it's like my breakfast activity.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because I think this morning you had texted me to come a little bit later. So I was like, what am I gonna do for 30 minutes if I can't scroll?
Yeah.
I did 2 Sudokus.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Honestly, that is so cool. It's like retraining your brain of like, and when I'm bored and like don't really have like, you can't really do much like that much in 30 minutes, but you can do a Sudoku in 30
Yeah.
minutes. So that's very interesting.
And I felt like it would also have been the perfect time to, like, color or something.
Yes.
So I really wanna get back into coloring as well. Um, but then also it's just helped me do a lot of, like, life admin tasks that I've been putting off because I have time to do them now.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
it's just been really nice.
Oh my gosh, that is really, really nice. Well, the opposite with me, I've been just overwhelmed and anxious and just, I've been trying to get to the root of a problem that I've been having for like a couple months now where I get overwhelmed and I just like don't want to do anything. It's
Mm,
just like insane, just I do not want to do anything. All I want to do is lay down and not think about it. But I'll lay down and that's all I can think about is
mm,
like what I need to do. And it has to do with like just procrastination and just like not wanting to do the thing because I'm just like so overwhelmed by the thought of having to do it. And it's just not been very healthy. And I haven't really been able to just like, because at first I was like, is it like my anxiety? Is it just because I'm like lazy? Or is it just because procrastination? I've always been kind of like a procrastinator. So I was just like, what is it? Like, I could not get to the bottom of it. I was just like, what is happening to me when I have like, I don't have the capacity to do as much as I used to do. And that was kind of like an identity thing too, where I was like, am I just not like that anymore? Like it was just
yeah.
like all these things were just like in my mind where I was just like, what is happening? And so I've been just trying to like get to the root of it because I was just like, okay, well, there's so much I want to do. And I have like really high highs and really low lows. And so
Mm,
I'm like, okay, how do I rebalance this? And I've just been learning a lot about like the nervous system and how to regulate it, which I don't know how I haven't done that before. Like I've done modalities that have to do with regulating the nervous system, but I've never like thought that was like the root cause of it. It's just been
mm,
like, I've done meditation, I've done DIs, I've done like
yeah.
breathing techniques, all that stuff, but I've never
You never really thought about, "Maybe I'm just out of whack, like, my nervous
yes.
system is just
Yes.
not
I've
regulated?"
always thought it was a different problem, like my procrastination, okay, maybe it's the ADHD or like
Mm,
maybe it's because I'm depressed or maybe it's the anxiety or maybe it's like all this stuff and I'm like, okay, I'm taking anxiety medication and it helps with depression, so I'm like, what is it? Like how can I not function as a normal human being?
yeah.
And it's just been so cuz it the reason I haven't really dug too deep is because again, I'll have high highs and low lows. So I'm like on top of the world some weeks and then really low like the next week. And so it's just kind of like dysregulated.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I've just been like learning about the nervous system and all those things. And it's crazy how easy it is to regulate your nervous system because I was just doing a lot of research on it. And it's basically just like breathing, going back into your body, meditation, there's like some stretches that you can do. And I was just like, I can't believe it's this easy. Like
Right.
sometimes it's like, what in the world? Like we make it this whole big thing. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to have to do? Like, am I going to have to, do all of these things, all these steps? But I have like, just like a checklist of like when I go into freeze or when I'm doing good, but just like having to remind myself of it because when I'm not in it, I'm like, "Psh, I'm good. Like I don't
Right.
need anything. Like I'm all, I'm good. I don't need to do all that. So I have like a little checklist of things that I can do when I'm about to enter freeze mode or when I'm like about to like almost like shut down. Cause I can almost like, it's weird because I can almost like feel a pull of like
Mhm.
when I'm about to just like, I don't want to think about what I'm doing when I'm about to procrastinate or anything. I'm just like, okay, going to bed. And it's so hard too because it's like I work from home too. So it's like, it's so much easier to just like disconnect with
Yeah.
work and just like go do something else and like
Yeah.
just not connect with what I'm doing or like
Does
not connect with the world.
yeah. Does that feeling that you're like, oh, I can feel it coming on. Do you feel like it's just random, or is there like a pattern to it, or like a cyclical nature to it?
I don't know, I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought to see if it is a pattern. It probably is, just
Yeah.
because, I mean, it's just, like, habits of,
Yeah.
like, if I do this, then I'll probably start feeling it, or, like, maybe it's, like, when I'm doing something that I really don't really wanna do, or things that I can procrastinate, I don't know, it's
Mm.
things like that, and so my capacity to do things is a lot lower these days, and I just want to be able to have capacity to do more things like I used to do. I feel like I used to do so many things all at once, and now I can barely do like 2 things and then I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, just trying these like little things that I've been doing, like breathing, meditation, these like exercises each day will help kind of like regulate my
Yeah.
system. So, which is nice because it's like easy things. It's not
Right.
like super hard anything. So, I'm excited that it's like easy things, but it's, like, about having to do them all the time and not just, like, when I'm not feeling good, so
Yeah.
so far, so good. I was like, "I can't believe it's this easy."
I feel like everyone needs a little nervous system regulation, like,
Yes.
it's just nice to have and
Yeah.
nice to feel grounded and just to clear your aura for a
Mhm.
second.
Well, I've also been learning that there's, like, a ladder to it, so, like, freeze is, like, the bottom of the ladder, fight, and flight are, like, the next step, and then it's, like, when you're, like, calm and regulated, so, basically, the goal is to just go into the next step, into the next
Mm.
step, into the next step, instead of, like, going from 1 to, like, all the way to the top. It's like
Mhm.
you have to, like, do these steps to get there instead of, because people always say fight, flight, or freeze, and I feel like I used to be able to fight, and I wasn't freezing all the time,
Mm.
and so, I think it was just like I used to be able to fight and now I'm just like in freeze mode. And so I want to get back into like at least fight or flight and then get back to like just calm and regulated and I can do anything.
Right.
But it has to do with like moving your body and like just a lot of just reframing your mindset too. I have a lot of shame that I like, have because of my freezing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I should be doing this. Why can't I do this? Why am I procrastinating?" Like, I'm just, like,
Mhm.
constantly, like, talking to myself, like, and, just, like, shaming myself for doing that, so it's just kind of like, "It's okay, my body's just trying to protect itself."
Yes,
And
yes.
it sounds so silly because it's, like, little things that I'm like, "People should be able to do that." Layla. Goodness. People should, like, regular people can do this, so, like, why can I not do it? And so it's just, like, it sounds silly, but it's, like, I gotta get out of that, and so hopefully this is, like, the root of all of my problems that I've been having of, like, marketing, showing up, all of the things because 'cause
Mm.
I'm so dysregulated that I'm procrastinating other stuff so much that I have to catch up on that stuff, and then I don't have time for the other stuff and vice versa, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've been dealing with this week, but all good. I mean, it's just, like, a lot of learning. I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." I just can't believe out of all the things I've never really, like, looked into it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like when I first started doing TBM a long time ago, I was, like, so obsessed with the nervous system, and I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Wow."
I guess
But
I just never got into it, I don't
I feel
know.
like I had a lot of, like, traumatic responses that I was doing,
Okay.
so I had to, like, work through that, and that
Mhm.
kinda helped me regulate my nervous system. But it's just so interesting how our bodies work.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. So, I've just been, like, learning about that, doing the things that I need to do. I have a little, like, checklist on my phone of, like, things that I can do, like, in the morning or at night to just kind of, like, help with everything. So, I'm excited about that,
That's
and
so
it's been
good.
good ever since I, like, learned about it and, like, started doing the few little practices, and I'm telling you, it's so easy. It's like breathing. It's like doing, like, a little stretch
But
at
we
night.
don't take time to do
I
that.
know,
We
that's the
literally don't.
problem. I know, and then it's, like, also freeze responses when you're, like, just consuming a lot too, just, like, a lot of TikTok or a lot of TV or whatever, it's just to just distract you from
Yeah,
everything else, so but speaking of TV, we haven't talked about TV in so
I
long. We
know.
haven't really been talking about TV, watching TV.
I haven't been consuming as much.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, recently I got into Project Runway.
Oh, I love Project
Okay,
Runway.
I was gonna say they
used
have
to
a new
watch that.
season. I saw on TikTok someone talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, that actually sounds like a good TV show. I love a competition.
Yeah.
And I used to watch it when I was younger, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not the full season, but here and there, you know, when it
Yeah,
was on
same.
cable or something,
Yeah.
I would watch it. And so they have a new season that I'm watching on Hulu, and it's so good.
Really?
And then I was like, oh my gosh. Well, and of course, it's coming out week to week, which is so annoying. I hate that. But I started watching like the old episodes and I'm obsessed. I'm like, oh my gosh, these are so cool. I told Avery, I was like, I gotta stop watching this because I'm gonna think I'm a fashion designer. I'm gonna start thinking that I can make my own clothes. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta stop doing this to myself. But yeah, no, it was so good.
That's so funny.
I love a competition show. Like,
Yeah.
it's so freaking good. So yeah, Project Runway. If you don't have anything else to watch, that's a good show to watch.
I'm almost done rewatching Vanderpump Rules. I started from season 1 again. Yeah. So I'm almost to the scandal ball. So
okay.
I can't wait to watch it for
Do
the
you
second
see
time.
any like anything interesting in these old episodes that kind of like leads up to Scandival or anything that's like fishy?
Not fishy, but just like flabbergasting. Like Raquel seemed so innocent, and to watch it a second time knowing that she was doing these things, I'm like,
crazy.
She's like an amazing actress.
Wow. And how long? Okay, I don't really know anything about it. How long were they like in an affair?
Well, I think they had hooked up a long time ago.
Okay.
And didn't say anything, and then they started an affair later. But they originally had hooked up earlier. And so I think the affair was like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long,
if I remember.
That's a relationship. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, I had no clue. That's crazy. Y'all, I'll have to one of these days watch that, maybe in the fall.
Yeah.
When it's winter time, I'll start watching it because I've never watched it before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're in for so much.
I know, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I've just never was a Bravo person. Like, I never watched anything on Bravo.
Wild.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the only thing I watch.
It's amazing. But anyways, anything else?
Oh, I've been really into cycle syncing. Like really into cycle syncing.
Yes.
And I've ever since I learned, you know, more intensely about the female cycle, I've kind of been into cycle syncing, but now I'm like
really in there.
So invested. I'm like, what are the foods I need to eat?
Yes.
What are the exercises I need to do? But mainly, what are the tasks in my business that I need to do in separate phases? Mm-hmm. And I just really realized that I cannot create content, really create anything in my luteal phase.
I know, it's so hard.
And so batching all that in my follicular phase, like right after my period, has been amazing.
Way better. Yeah.
And just like, it's just crazy just learning all about that. And then I get really angry and really triggered that we don't know this information from the age of 5 years old.
Yeah, I know. And I get really angry that it took me way too long to learn about that stuff. I'm like mid-20s and I'm barely learning about that. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's wild. And learning about what's normal and what I thought was not normal growing up too.
Did you know Australia now has paid time off for periods?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How many days do they get?
4 days.
You're lying.
Yeah.
A month?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
Wild. If only they could do that where it's like you can just like work from home. Like if it's a corporate job, you can just like work from home instead. Like I feel like even that would be easier than having to like go into the office, get dressed up, do all the things. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I had no idea.
Like Australia recognizes that we suffer so much pain that we need to not work. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, it would only happen if men did it.
Yeah.
Like if men had a period, that's when it would happen. when we would get like a way more time off.
Yeah.
But
So that's when I like reflect, and I am just so grateful for being self-employed and that I have, the luxury to be slower in my luteal phase and take some time to rest. It really makes me thankful for everything.
Yes, like have a chill week and then have times where you do different things in your business. Yeah, that's so true. I know I've been on this sinking game, I feel like, for a while, but I've never done like the whole like food and like different types of I don't know, there's so many things you can sync with your
Yeah.
cycle, whether it's food, business, life, like everything.
Yeah.
You can sync everything. And I guess it's hard because a lot of women take like birth control too, so it's like some people don't even have their periods.
Right.
And so that's interesting too, where everyone's so different
Right.
with their cycles. Some people don't really have like a harsh cycle. Some people do. Some people are like dying basically when they're on their period. And it's just like, oh my gosh, everyone's so different.
Yeah.
But I think, if you haven't looked into it, definitely look into it if you have a period. Because I think it's different when you're on birth control. It's just kind of like,
yeah, for sure. I was on
regulates you.
birth control for like 5 years, and I feel like I was just the same all month.
Yeah.
So obviously I was, because I was taking the same hormone every month or every day. But yeah, it's so to come off of that later in life, it's like, what? I didn't know any of this stuff. And so I'm trying to like educate myself and give myself grace. And yeah, I've also realized that I need to schedule my personal like friend time and like social interactions in the beginning of my cycle. And because I always hate when I have something scheduled and I'm going through it and I have to cancel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just like being aware is just so nice, and it makes everything so much easier.
And you don't feel like bad about it. You're just like, it is what it is.
It
Like
is
I'm
what
going
it
through it
is.
right now.
Yeah, it takes like the shame away from it. So
yeah, no, that's so true. And what else? Future tripping? Hello? What is that?
Okay.
You have a lot on here. I'm like, hello.
Well, this one thing and then a quote that I've heard. But
okay.
So future tripping is this idea where you're constantly living in the future, constantly ruminating, but in the future instead of like ruminating in the past. And I feel like I fall into this all the time, where it's like I can't even focus on the task at hand because I'm so worried about the future. And it's like it causes like paralysis a lot, because I won't even start something because I can see in the future like, well, what if this happens and then this happens? Like a good example of it is a lot of people will think, oh, I can't start like a TikTok because what if I get really famous and then I can't like handle the fame, and I can't
and then
like
I get Reddit threads about me.
Yeah, and then I get canceled. Like that's future tripping.
Yes.
Where you're not really living in the reality of this moment.
Yeah.
And you're just creating a future reality that hasn't happened yet.
And probably won't.
Yeah. So I thought that was a weird, like something that I've been aware of, but I didn't have like a name to like, oh, that's future tripping.
Okay. Oh, that's so funny. I literally yesterday saw a TikTok where she was talking about like, stop worrying about the time. Like she was like, whenever it was like Thanksgiving break, she would be on day 3 of Thanksgiving break and be like, oh my gosh, it's already been 3 days. Like I only have 4 more days of break, and like I have to make it work, and like what am I gonna do? And so it was just like this constant battle of like, oh my gosh, time has passed, but then I also have all this time, so what should I do? And it's just like constantly like, girl, just be in the present. Like I think she was saying that time goes by so fast when you're just thinking about the past and the future, where it's like, just worry about what you're doing right now instead of like worrying about how much time has passed or hasn't passed. And I was just like, that is so true.
Yeah, I
like
feel
stop worrying about the time.
The way to slow down time is to just be present, which is wild.
Yeah, I know. Easiest thing to do, but our brain and our thinking just doesn't work that way.
And kind of going
hard
along with the future tripping about kind of just like selling yourself short before you even try. I heard this quote on a podcast, and I wrote it down because it was so impactful to me. And it is, the biggest indicator of success is your ability to move from idea to action. And the longer the time in between the two, the less successful you will be. So stop waiting for everything to be perfect and take action. And I just thought, oh, that is so true.
Very, very true.
So true.
Anytime I've just done, it's been smooth sailing.
Mhm.
And you learn faster, you do things quicker, you're moving way faster than anybody that's like overthinking about like starting the business or should I do this? Should I do that? And so, yeah, that's very true and something that I always try to keep in mind
Yeah.
because it is hard to just be like, oh, just waiting for the right moment,
Right.
waiting for things to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
Yeah, it just hit me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, like, oh, so much to learn. So much to implement. It's crazy, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know if you wanted to talk about this on the podcast or not, but like, I thought it would be cool to talk about. I just thought about it right now, so let me know if you do or don't want to talk about. But your curation and like what you think about why you don't want to do it anymore.
Oh, yes. I don't know. I feel like maybe it is the manifesting generator in me where I had an idea, I did it, I got it out, and then I'm kind of like over it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't want to just like dumb everything down to being like, oh, it's just because I'm a manifesting generator. I really like talking with you over text about it and kind of like reflecting. I think you're right. I think it is a service that I could do, but I'd rather just teach someone. Like I feel fired up teaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did mentorships in the past and I really enjoyed them. And it wasn't me just like taking on their work for them.
Mm-hmm.
It was me telling them how to do it, and then if they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. I don't have
Yeah.
like any responsibility on that part. So maybe it is because I crafted an offer where it was like I'd be doing all the work.
Yes.
And maybe that's why I was like,
And
do I really want to do this work?
Yeah, the only reason I brought that up and was thinking maybe that was why is because when you were first like talking about it, you're like, I want to teach them how to do it so they don't have to come back to me. And I was like, maybe she doesn't even want to do the actual service. Maybe she just like wants to teach how she curates everything.
Yeah.
And not so much like the doing it aspect. Cause that was like the first thing you kind of said where you were
Yeah.
like, I want to teach them to do it and then not have to like hire me for like the next year to
and
do
that's
it.
why I felt so like I didn't feel like my gut was saying yes about the subscription
Mm-hmm.
of like
Mm-hmm.
having someone tied to me for a year
Yeah.
doing that. And so, yeah, basically, I don't know if we even said it, but I'm feeling like I don't want to offer that curate with confidence service anymore. Well, I don't even know. It's just
Yeah.
something that I've been feeling.
Just like
I'm
I just
still
wanted to
working
like
it out in my
talk
soul.
it through
Yeah.
with you just to see if there was like something that you could like tweak or if it was more like teaching or like maybe like more of like a PDF or an ebook that you can like show people how to do or like just like a small video or something else that isn't like having to do the service.
Wow, that is actually a great idea.
Just because I'm just thinking of like how I would work because it's like I don't want to post for other people. That
Right.
to me sounds like the worst thing ever. But teaching people how to post and like what to post and what to talk about in their post, that to me lights me up. And I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do. But I don't want to create like a social media agency where I have to do it manually for them.
Exactly.
And so that's why I'm thinking like maybe that's what you're leaning more into and like you would rather teach them how to do it than like doing it yourself because that's more like of a service.
Yeah, so maybe it's like just like a mini course that I make of like this is how you curate with confidence because you're doing it yourself. I think that was like where the name came from.
Yes.
But I got lost in the sauce of like, oh, I have to do this.
Yeah.
For other people.
Yeah. Or oh my gosh, brings me back to like the book that we just read. We're about to talk about in book club, but just like where you have one way of thinking and you don't like go off of that. And so you're just kind of like, well, this is just kind of like what I think, this is where my brain is going. And so, yeah, I think maybe your brain was just going this way because you've seen it, or like that's just kind of like what you thought would be good, instead of like realizing there's like other ways to do it instead of just like this one way. So
this is
very interesting.
real time.
Yeah, this is real time
thinking. Being a business owner,
yeah,
and an entrepreneur, and having offers that maybe the first time you launch it, they don't stick, and they don't stick for a reason.
Yeah,
because maybe that's not what you were supposed to be doing in the first place.
You might have to think through and think of like, okay, I do want to do this, but like, how can I do this differently than what the original idea is?
Just pivoting it to fit your desires, I guess.
And sometimes like the first time it doesn't work, then you can try it a second time. But if you're really feeling like something's off, something's probably off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit more because I wasn't sure where you were at with that, and I just wanted to just bring it onto the pod to see.
Well, thank you for talking it through with me, because now I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, we already do a service-based business, so I didn't think that you would want to do another service-based kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like doing it for other people.
It's spot on.
And you were just like, anytime like I heard you talking about it, you're like, teach. And not so much like, I just don't want them to come back and like, I have to do the work for them. I want them to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And so you can just package that into an ebook or a course or whatever. And then they can just do it without you even having to do it for them.
So true.
Or there's other ways. I don't know. We can brainstorm.
And I've always wanted to create like a passive income like stream. And that's so passive. You create it once and then
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, maybe you update it a few times, but no, right. I think that's perfect. But we can talk through that later too, just like of what you can do.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and then the last thing I think I had, well, there was a couple things, but I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I think we were talking about like thrifting last week, and I decided to make like a thrift wish list in my notes of like what I want to start finding and like colors that I want to find at the thrift store specifically, just because it's just like, I think it's a lot easier when you like go into the thrifting with a plan.
For sure.
And like what to find and like what colors you're looking for and everything. So I have like basically like outerwear, bottoms, shoes, accessories that I want to find. So like for accessories, like I want to find scarves, leather belts, like maybe some shoulder bags, chunky gold earrings, like things like that, where it's just like, I know what I'm looking for. And it's not just like a bunch of stuff where I'm like, oh, well, this all looks great, but like, I don't even know what I want. So going into,
or it'll lessen the buyer's remorse too, because you'll buy something and be like, actually this doesn't fit in my closet.
Yeah. So I even have like the colors that I'm like looking for, and just like even for like outerwear, like I'm looking for a trench coat that's like a classic beige, a black leather jacket, a red jacket. So it's just like really specific items, and it's almost like kind of like manifesting.
It so is. That's why I love thrifting.
Yes, exactly. When you're like going into it with like specific items in mind, and then you go in and then you find exactly what you're looking for, because it's like you're literally treasure hunting for specific items instead of just going in with that like, I have no idea what I'm gonna find, but here I am.
Are you active or passive again for manifesting?
Active or passive? Oh, I can't remember. I know I'm specific.
Okay, yeah. So that works really well for you. And I feel like for me, I'm passive and non-specific. So I'm like, yeah, I have like a Pinterest board, and like I have colors in my head, but I don't know the exact piece, but I keep finding pieces.
Yes.
So
yeah, and that's kind of with me too. It's like, I don't know the exact piece, but at least I know the color and what I want. So like a red jacket, that could be a leather red jacket. That could be just like a suede red jacket, whatever it is. Like I'm just like looking for certain things. So it's just, I don't know. Thrifting is a lot easier that way than just like entering and being like, well, let's see what we find. And you're right about the buyer's remorse, where it's like, this isn't even that cute. Like, why did I buy it? This color doesn't even look good on me. Things like that. So.
I do that for like not even thrifting. Like if I go to, I don't know, TJ Maxx.
Yes.
I get buyer's remorse a lot, because even though it's cute in the store, it wasn't, like, on my list of things to get.
Yeah, or it's, like, something I already had, like a
Yeah.
white shirt. Well, I already have that, so, like,
Or
why did I get that?
I wear it once and I'm like, hate it now.
Yes, exactly. So I just decided, like, I have, like, an entire list of things that I just wanna find at different thrift stores, and I'm okay with, like, not having to find the whole list at one thrift store, but just, like,
Oh, yeah.
throughout, going to the thrift store, I think will be nice. And I don't know, I've just been really into fashion lately, which is why I'm like Project Runway and like doing thrifting and like, I don't know, I'm excited to see if I can like even alter some things with sewing. So just like combining all my interests
I
together.
love it. I love
But
it.
I have been obsessed with Project Runway. I don't know why. It's so funny. I guess I haven't watched it in so long that I was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot how good this is and how
Mhm.
fun it is to watch these fashion designers like make a look in one day.
Another show that's really good is Next in Fashion
Ooh,
on
yes.
Netflix.
Yes, with Gigi Hadid, right?
Yes.
Is that her?
Well, yeah, I think she's on the latest season, but it's like Tan Fran
Yes.
and so that show really makes me feel like I can make all my clothes, which I have no business. I don't even know how to
No
sew.
business. Like, I can't believe I told Avery. I was like, I gotta stop watching this because I'm gonna think I can make everything in my closet after this. But I need to start slow. There's like a few things that I need to hem, which I've never hemmed things. So I'm excited to see if I can do
Ooh,
that. Because I have
yeah.
some jeans that are way too big, and then I have a shirt that's way too big that I want it to be more like fitted to me. And so let's see if I can do it. I don't know, but yeah, anyways,
That's fun.
that's it on that. I guess we can get into book club, right?
Yes, we
Yeah.
finished. Was that our second book?
Third. Yeah,
Our
third
third book.
Well, second for Miranda because I think she didn't read the first one.
We don't have to talk about that.
No, I'm just kidding. Our first one was a flop. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, we never talked about what's next for the book club, but maybe we can choose a book between now and the next podcast.
Okay, yeah.
Because I forgot
I
that
forgot too.
we needed to do that. But yeah, so we read Think Faster, Talk Smarter, which it was such a good book. I really wanted to pick a book that was like about communication and like just like almost like improv spontaneous communication to help with client calls, to help with networking, to help with just like answering client questions, like anything where it's just like you're spontaneously answering a question that a client has on a call, which sometimes can be like I wasn't ready for this. Like, I don't have a script for this, which can feel so like, I don't know, just so like I'm anxious.
Yeah.
Like, why did they ask me this? I was not prepared for this. So yeah, I just wanted something that was like practical for business and communication because not only communication with like client calls and everything, but this also has a lot to do with like social media. Not that the book talks about that, but just like communication overall with like talking on your stories or on reels or on TikTok, anything like that. So I really wanted a book that kind of just talked about communication and how to be better at it. Cause I don't think I ever have read a book like that.
Me neither. Well, especially like if you were to do like an Instagram live or something, that
Yes.
freaks me out. But now I feel like I have tools to where that if that ever happened to me, I would be able to get through it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, for me, it's like the client call. Sometimes they'll ask a question and I wasn't like prepared for it. So it's like, okay, how can I like be spontaneous and talk about it without being like,
Right.
hold on, let me figure it out. Like, just like very, I don't know, just not prepared. But yeah, so I just really wanted a book that kind of like had tools to help with communication as well. So the book was really good. How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. It was much more like tactical. I don't know how to describe it. It's not very philosophical.
Oh, yes.
And so
yes.
I feel like I get information overwhelmed sometimes. And I did feel like that reading this book. But I think the reason why I feel like that is because most books, like our last book, The Karma of Success, I took in everything and I was ready to go. Like,
yeah.
I felt so amazing. And this book, it just teaches you things that you're going to have to practice.
Yes.
And for me, that was like, okay, I can't just like automatically be amazing. So
It's hard. Yep. Yeah. Basically, the whole book is like you really do have to practice
Yeah.
these things and just not be fearful every time that you have to communicate.
Right. Right.
Which sometimes it's hard. It's hard. Because I remember when I first started photography, I was like, what am I going to talk to my clients about? I
Literally.
was like
For an
so
hour.
scared of like meeting a stranger and being like, what are we gonna talk about? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know these people, like, never met these people. And so that was like, I really had to get over that hump when starting photography, which thank God I did. I didn't even read a book about it, but it was just kind of like one of those things that I had to just like get through, like exposure therapy almost.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so what are some of the themes that like stuck with you uh, on the book?
For me, my main takeaway is that, yes, it's going to take practice, but managing my anxiety before it really helps. And so he gives you a lot of practices to manage your anxiety if you know you're going to be on a call or have a meeting or if you're going to a networking event. And so, yeah, having that anxiety management plan just in my brain ready to go has really helped me. And I even implement that for other things that make me anxious, not just
yes.
communication.
Yeah, I was going to say when I was reading that part, I was like, oh, I already do half of these. So,
Yeah.
and just like realizing that anxiety is normal. He
Yes.
talked about like just people that were presenting and then didn't have like their like prompter went out and then they just could not go on and had to like leave the stage. And so even if they're like a big person that you think they would know everything about anything, it happens. Like
Mhm.
anxiety happens with everyone. He says he still gets anxiety when speaking. And so it's just about like just learning to manage it and not so much like get rid of it or be
Mhm.
perfect with it. So yeah, I thought that piece was good. It's a lot of mindset shifts too.
Mhm.
A lot of mindset shifts for the actual like communication part of it.
Yeah. And to go along with that, realizing that the goal isn't perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you realize that you have anxiety about speaking and then you realize I don't have to be perfect, it's okay if I mess up, that just like takes away all the pressure.
Yes.
And then even if you are in a very high stake pressure meeting or situation, knowing that you're a human communicating with another human and we all understand what's going on.
Yeah.
We all know, and like that, just letting go of that pressure it seems so simple, but for some reason I have not been able to do that until I read this book. And
Yeah, it's the perfectionist in
yeah.
all of us. It's like you want to be perfect. And one of the things that I wrote down was like reframing what good speaking actually means. And so this book kind of reminds us that smart isn't always about having like the fanciest words or just being like perfect and not saying or like or anything. It's just about being clear, connected, and authentic to yourself. Because I think he talked about too of like if you're trying to be original, you're just gonna sound like everyone else. And just like it's better to just be authentic and just, communicate with how you would I don't know. I don't even know how to explain that. How just being authentic is better than like memorizing a script.
Yes. Yes. And the way that you can do that is by focusing on connection and storytelling, which is
Mhm.
something that we love and we talk about all the time. And so reading that and being like, oh, I'm actually just, if I'm on a client call, I'm just telling my clients a story.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm connecting with them and I'm making sure that they feel listened to.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the biggest one too. And I also wrote down that clients don't need to use like industry jargon that we all know that they don't even know. They
Yeah.
just want to feel seen, heard, and confident in the process that you have. So you don't have to be talking like you're, I don't know, like an expert in cameras or an expert in photography. It's just about being you and just great communication starts with trust. And so that trust leads into just having better photos and a better client relationship with someone. And so, yeah, you don't have to use all these weird terms with them and get them all confused. You just have to be clear and be yourself, really. You don't have to do anything other than that, which was nice to read. That it's like you just have to be authentic and you don't have to, script everything and be ready for everything. You can just be you.
Yeah. Well, and it also helped me reading this book about all the different, what would you call them? They're like, some of them are acronyms,
Oh,
but
like frameworks?
yeah, frameworks.
Yes.
And I think like that's where I got the overwhelm of information, because I'm like, how am I going to memorize all these different frameworks? But again, it's just finding one that really resonates with you and then like trying it out the next time you're in
Yes.
a situation. And so the one, and I think it's the one that he recommends to memorize, is the what, so what, now what.
Yes. Yeah, I
Ro-
wrote that down, which is having frameworks helps your mind organize quickly under pressure. So if you
Yes.
have these frameworks that you've been working on for like, whenever you're in conversation at any point, even if it's just like the podcast or you're talking with your friends, just always having that framework. But that one is great for sharing ideas, telling stories, explaining your work, or giving advice. And so what it does is it states the fact, idea, or story, explains why it matters, and then you share what should happen next or what you learned from that. And so that's a really, really great one too that I also just wrote down, where I was like, oh, that's like so easy.
And I feel like that one goes great with business, because it's like, what is your service or product? So what? Why it matters?
Yes.
And then what now? Like the benefits that they'll get, and then how they can book you. Like that's literally like a framework that I feel like is already ingrained in us with business. So I feel like using that in just conversation is going to really help. I feel like it's for when someone asks you a question and you're not prepared for that answer, then you can be like,
you just start with
yeah,
like stating the idea and the fact, and then you go into, because it gives you like almost like a pause of like you're stating it, and then you're like your brain is going into the next thing of like why it matters. And so it's so easy when you have this structure. And I was just like, wait, that is genius.
Yeah.
I would have never thought about that. And structured, again, doesn't have to mean like you have to have like a script ready. It's just kind of like just a way to manage your thought, because sometimes I feel like maybe we are just rambling and you don't know where you're going. And so you can just take a second, think of this, and then you go into the next point.
It's a structure, not a script.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was really, really interesting. I don't know, all of it, I was just like mind blown, because again, I had never read a book about communication or like really learned about communication. I remember taking a speech class in high school, and I couldn't tell you one thing I learned in that speech class.
I just learned that I hate public speaking. Same. So I was so afraid.
Same. Like I don't remember a single thing I learned in that class. So, and I didn't get flashbacks of like reading the book of like, oh my God, I learned that. Never learned any of this. And so it was just like interesting, like reading about communication, because I had never read it like that. So I was just like, I really needed this, I think.
And then the last thing that really stuck out to me was small talk.
Ooh,
and how to reframe your mind around that, because I've been someone to say, I hate small talk. I just can't connect with small talk. I
want to go deep.
I want to go deep. Like yada,
So
yada,
pick me.
yada. Yeah, so pick me.
But everyone does that, I feel like. And I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't know if everyone does, because Ian's so good at small talk and he does not like going deep. So he's like the opposite of me.
Okay, interesting.
But I've used that as a crutch as of why I can't be in like group situations, or because
it's like an excuse almost.
Yeah. But he kind of like helped me reframe my mindset around small talk, and that it really just equals curiosity, and like genuine curiosity. And so every time I like gonna go into, sorry, there's a fuzz.
Fuzz of hair, probably.
Every time I'm going to go into a situation where I'm meeting a stranger, or it's networking or anything, instead of thinking, oh my God, I have to small talk, I'm not good at small talk, I want to start thinking, I'm genuinely curious about this other person. And how do you do that? You ask questions and you listen. And that's literally small talk.
Yeah. And listening intently, because I think in the book they talk about like how we almost like hear a question and just automatically say something, instead of like actually listening to the question, or maybe even answering or saying a question after they ask a question to confirm like, what information do you need from me? And I
Yeah.
thought that was so interesting because, again, like I was talking about earlier, our brain makes like shortcuts. It wants to do the exact same thing every single time. So instead of like just hearing the question and like automatically going to response of what you think they're thinking, asking a question of like, oh, would you like me to talk about this or that? Or like, how would you like me to like talk about what you want me to talk about or whatever. And so I was just like, that is very interesting that our brain does do that. Cause he was talking about that game where you try to point at something and say the wrong name
Yes.
and how our brain like wants to think that we couldn't come up with a wrong name that's wrong enough. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh my gosh." And he was just talking about like that wasn't the game. The game is just to name something wrong. And so we put all this like pressure and perfectionism and all of this stuff. And yeah, so I just thought that was interesting too of like how we don't really listen sometimes. Like we obviously were like listening to the question or whatever they're talking about, but we're also sometimes in our head like thinking about like what's everyone thinking about, like, did I say something wrong? And so you're not actually listening to the question. And so just
Right.
like the whole goal of communication is just like, how can I engage in connection with this person?
Yes. Which is, like, so beautiful,
Yes,
and I'm like, "Why haven't I been thinking about that this whole time?"
I know.
And also with the listening, to slow down because even if they're asking you a question, looking at their body language, like, how comfortable are they, like, that gives you clues to then, like you said, ask another question in return that's, like, getting to the bottom of what they're really asking
Hmm.
you, not
Hmm.
just, like, a standard question.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know. It was so interesting. Lots of really good tips and tricks in there. I
mhm.
definitely would recommend this for anyone, any photographer, any creative, just because I think a lot of creatives have like struggle with communication as far as like social media and even just like again like I was talking about like I really had to dig deep to get over the fear of like talking to strangers when I first started photography. And so I think it's a really great book, especially too for client calls.
Yes.
I think client calls, this book, like, you really should read it, and even if you have a job too, because I know a lot of creatives have, like, a second job, so they talk a lot about, like, just companies and interviews and things like
Even
that.
if you were going on a date,
Mhm.
like a
Yes!
blind date,
Yes!
like, this book is solid.
Yeah, I know, it really well, I mean, you communicate with everyone,
Yeah.
so it's like, it's good for everyone, which, is just really interesting, but yeah, I loved it. Let me see what else I wrote down. Oh, what is, like, a belief that you're keeping from the book? Like, what's something that
Mm. That I am good at communication, I just need to be more intentional with it.
Yes, yes,
Because
for
I have a negative belief that I'm just bad at it.
yes, I know, mine is kind of, like, in the same vein where I don't have to be perfect
Yes.
to communicate. I don't
Yes.
have to be, not saying or like every other word. I can fix that, but it's not gonna hinder my communication that much where it's
Mhm.
like, "Oh my gosh, I can never do this again."
Mhm.
So that's something. And then I wanna practice, like, the frameworks too during, like, client calls or, like, during just just communicating with anyone. Just, like, the framework of, like, thinking one thing, going into the next one and going to the next one because I feel a lot of my fears like I ramble too much and then I'm like, what am I even saying? And then I get in my head and I'm
Mhm.
like, where is this even going? Like I forgot my first train of thought and all of this stuff. So just like practicing a framework of like this sentence, next sentence, next sentence. Like it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be it doesn't have to be that hard.
And, like, clients appreciate when there's a framework that like, you're following. It's just more professional that way. And it's not, like, stiff, like we said, a script, but it's just if they know that there's a beginning, middle, and end to this meeting, then it just makes everyone feel at ease.
Yes. Yes, that too. And then a mindset shift that I had written down was like less pressure to impress and more curiosity to connect to someone.
Yeah.
So that was like a big one too where it's like you really do like especially with networking it's like I just want to impress everyone like what if I don't impress them, what if I say the wrong thing, what if I do this, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, what? We don't have to do all that. We don't have to impress. We just have to be curious and connect with someone. Like, it doesn't have to be that serious. And if we connect, we connect. And if we don't, we don't. Like, it doesn't have to be this like overlooming like doom of like getting it wrong.
Yes. And I feel like we are such spiritual people that why aren't we bringing that into our communication? Because it's like we believe in like our auras and, you know, alignment and things are attracting each other. So it's like if we're just true to ourselves and we're just doing that, why do we get like, when we're trying to communicate?
You just
like
want to be perfect.
Yeah.
Which is almost impossible.
And then you're not letting your like aura shine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even I was thinking back on the first WIPA event we did and thinking about like the speakers, they weren't perfect. Like I heard them say like stumble a few words or like say or like
one of them didn't even have notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just got up there and just started talking.
And we were enthralled. We were like, oh, amazing. And it's because we were just like connected with him and like curious about what he was talking about. So yeah, I was just like, you know what? No one is that perfect. And I think in the book too, they were talking about like, you think that these like TED Talks and these speeches are so like perfect and there's not an or a like in it, but it's also like a lot of editing down and a lot of like, you know, just it's a video, so you can edit anything out of it. And so I was just like, you know what? That's so true. We really do not have to be like perfect in the way we communicate. As long as we're authentic and we're just ourselves, we'll be okay.
Yeah. Authentic and curious. That's all you gotta be. I love it.
I know.
It's so like comforting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really is. I'm just like, wow, it really doesn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
Nothing really is that hard. We just like build it up in our minds. It's kind of crazy how our minds work. And like we just build all this up. And yeah, it was just, to me, it was freeing. I was like, oh, you're right. I really don't have to be perfect.
Right.
I just need to ask a few questions, listen. Like that's really all I have to do. It doesn't have to be that serious. So yeah, I really was just like, oh my gosh, I love it. It was like, I think one of the quotes was like, dare to be dull.
Yes, like mediocre is good.
You don't have to be, you know, that crazy and loud and whatever. You can just be yourself, which is nice. But yeah, good book.
Good reminder, yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, think about the next book. We'll have Miranda pick this one.
Okay.
Because I really don't know. I don't have any books in my like TBR that are like business focused. So maybe I can look for some on TikTok too and send them over to you. And we can decide on.
I have one in my mind, but I'll send it to you before we say it on the podcast.
Okay. What are the vibes like?
It's like businesswoman self-help.
Okay. I love it. Yay. Perfect.
And spiritual.
Ooh, okay. We love a little spiritual twist. Okay, amazing. Well, that is all for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all the things to help us out. And yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Thank you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye.